Welcome everybody to my Thrive, Not Just Survive over the holidays masterclass. I'm so glad that you joined me. Today, we're going to be talking about what your target macros should be while going through the holidays whenever for fat loss without deprivation. I love the faster way primarily because it helped transform my relationship with food and exercise for good. I was someone who was constantly trying to eat about 1,200 calories. I was someone that would go from studio to studio, trying to work out as hard as I could every day. Every day I was trying to PR. However, I was always trying to lose the last 5 pounds, and then I would lose it and it just wouldn't be sustainable. It was this never-ending cycle that I had. When I finally learned how many macros I should be eating, it all clicked and became easy for me. No longer was I depriving myself to only be starving by the end of the day and then inevitably overeat, because what do you eat after dinner, right? You eat like dessert, you eat cookies. So when you've eaten like 1,200 calories up until dessert time, yeah, you're not going to be able to stop at one. Like I was hungry. But when I learned how many macros my body needed for fat loss, that's when it got easy. That's when everything changed. I've heard people say, well, doesn't it make you neurotic? And I was like, no, because I wasn't eating enough. And by tracking, I no longer felt hungry. I all of a sudden had energy. I wasn't the hangry girl anymore. I no longer felt like I needed to burn off what I ate the next day at class because I knew that I had fueled my body for whatever it was that I had to do that day. So today I'm going to share with you guys how to track your macros, or rather how to calculate what your macros should be. I am also going to talk about how knowing your macros is going to help get rid of any food guilt that you might have. I'm going to share my screen now. So let me see, share screen. I just figured out how to do this. Y'all are going to see my emails because I, of course, did not. Let me see how I got this. Here we go. All right. I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go into presentation mode. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh, let's go to the beginning. All right, so here we go. The ultimate start of the training, thriving, not surviving through the holidays. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah Dussault. I am one of the top 20 fast rate of fat loss coaches. I am also a certified personal trainer through the ACSM. I am a mom to 3 littles, Tommy, who's in 1st grade, Connor is in pre-K, and Ellie is going to be turning 2 in January. I am also an Institute of Integrative Nutrition coach. If you're not familiar with I'm an Institute of Integrative Nutrition graduate, which makes me a holistic health coach. I am also an author. I have 1 published book under my belt. I am also a recovering YouTuber. I have a large following on YouTube, but I don't upload there very much anymore. But maybe I look or sound familiar because when you were younger, you watched my YouTube channel. I have a lot of embarrassing videos there. Today, we're going to learn about holiday strategies, as I mentioned, 2, how to get rid of food guilt, 3, macro tracking, which a lot of you are here for, 4, building a fitness schedule, and 5, intermittent fasting. We may not get to number 4 and 5 because I'm trying to fit this all in within a 30-minute window. All right, let's talk holiday strategies. We just passed Thanksgiving, okay? Now, on the holidays, if you were a current client of mine, I would have said, we are not going to track macros. We are going to enjoy the day. And this is called memories over macros. We do not track anything on Thanksgiving. We enjoy the food. We don't stress about what we eat on those days or parties. So the days that we're focusing on for fat loss, if we want to start small and build up to January, we're going to look at the shoulder days, the days in between the parties. And on those days, so today is a great example. What are you going to do? You are going to focus on mostly eating whole foods. What that means is you're eating foods that are not processed. They're not loaded with sugar. They're not cooked in oils. you can pronounce the ingredients, or you bought the ingredients separately and you made it yourself. I do eat minimally processed foods like bars here and there for convenience because I'm a mom and this is supposed to be something that's sustainable. But we're going to focus on also drinking plenty of water. So I want you guys to be trying to drink at least half your body weight in water. We're also going to be focusing on eating protein, and I'm going to tell you how to figure out what your ideal protein number is. I love reading research about this because there's been a lot. Also, I recommend limiting alcohol during the shoulder days. I recently cut back during the week and it has done wonders for my energy and how I feel overall. I still drink when I go to parties and stuff like that, but on these shoulder days, if fat loss is your ultimate goal, if you want to get rid of food guilt, if you want to feel better, your ultimate goal should be to try to limit it during the shoulder days. And we're also going to stick with our fitness routine. Okay. What this means, and for me, it's having a schedule and not skipping a day. I do 2 days of HIIT workouts. I do 1 day that's a full body strength. I do 1 day that's upper body, and I do 1 day that is just lower body. I've been doing this for 4 years and I am the leanest I have ever been. This works for me. But if you have a program that you love and you do decide to become a client later on, I'll work with you to make it work. One of my favorite tricks about holiday parties is the here and now rule when it comes to party food choices. So obviously we just had Thanksgiving, but for me, my schedule coming up this weekend, I'm going to Nantucket for the holiday stroll. The weekend after that, we have Nick's company holiday party on Thursday. We have our neighborhood holiday stroll on Friday. And then we have also a holiday party at Nick's Golf Club on Saturday. We've got a lot going on. So what I do during these days is I practice something called the here and now rule. And I did this as well at Thanksgiving. This is what it is. If you could eat this food any day of the year, I skip it. If you could only eat this food right here, right now, I'm talking about your grandmother's apple pie that she makes from scratch every year. That is a food that I will enjoy. That is a treat that I am going to do. If somebody goes to the grocery store, goes to Whole Foods and brings a box of cookies that you could buy any day, those are the foods that you skip. But if your girlfriend makes this delicious buffalo chicken dip that, she doesn't come around very often, that is a here and now food. Homemade holiday cookies, those are a here and now food. During the holidays, I will eat those, even if they're on a shoulder day, because if it is the only opportunity for you to enjoy it, go for it. I hope that makes sense. That is my here and now rule. If there is a food that you can only eat if you are right here, right now, and it's something that you want, of course, go for it. If it's something you could have any other day of the year, I don't mean save your calories, but choose something that's a little bit more special. If you love it and you could have it every day, and for whatever reason you only give yourself a pass on Thanksgiving, that's a whole different mental ball game. But that is my here and now rule. All right. Scenarios for food guilt. What we want to try to banish by tracking macros. We want to banish you feeling guilty that you ate too much. We want to banish situations where you feel like you ate bad food. In the faster way, there are no bad foods. Foods are not bad. Foods are not good. There are foods that are loaded with nutrients and are actually going to fuel your body. And there are foods that lack nutrients and they're only going to give you energy for a little bit. They might make you crave more sugar. They may not make you feel the best. Of course, I just got a thing on my computer that my computer's going to die, but that's fine. Another scenario of food guilt. This day is a wash. I might as well eat everything in sight. I don't want anyone to feel this way. When you make a decision to eat something that brings you joy, your day is not a wash. Okay. Just move on with the next thing that you put in your mouth. Okay. Having 1 brownie does not mean you need to eat the whole pan. Having 2 brownies does not mean you need to eat the whole pan. Have the 2 brownies, drink some water, have some fruit next. Tomorrow, I'll burn it off. We want to avoid this mentality. Okay. We don't need to burn off what we eat. We're just going to stick to our schedule. I'm starving, and then you binge on not so nutritious foods. I mentioned this in the beginning. And if I only had more willpower, we are going to get rid of this by figuring out How? First, we remove labeling food as good or bad, as I just said. Next, we're making sure that we're eating enough. Okay. That's one of our principles in the faster ways. We want to make sure that you are eating enough food. We often feel guilty for eating too much when in reality, we are actually starving and our bodies needed that food. I talked about this in the beginning. So often I would try to reduce how much food I was eating, and then I would be starving and I would just, I don't mean to use the word give in, but just I wouldn't be able to stop. I would overindulge. And then I'd feel bad. Next, we're going to set yourself up for success. When you eat enough of whole, nutritious foods, your sugar, salt cravings will be less, and you'll be less likely to overindulge because you're satiated on nutrient-rich foods. That one speaks for itself. All right, so let's quickly talk about macros. Is macro tracking for you? Now, some people who are in a stage of life where they have young kids, macro tracking might be hard. It can be time consuming at first, but when I get clients who want to lose weight, what they've been doing isn't working. And so I say to them, this isn't going to be easy at first. You do have to put in some effort. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Tracking macros is not comfortable at first. It is a learning curve, but eventually it gets easy and you can do it. So first, we're going to calculate our target macros. And this is going to allow you to see how much food your body actually needs for optimal energy and fat burning. Let's do this really quickly. If you have your phone out, get a calculator. I'm going to grab my phone charger so that my computer doesn't die while I'm doing this. That would have been a good idea to do. So we're going to get our phone. What I'm going to recommend you guys do, we are going to multiply. So if you have MyFitnessPal or you have the Faster Way app, this is all going to be done for you. In the Faster Way app, this is all going to be done for you. This is a very, very, very simplified version. Okay. So what I recommend my clients, so take your weight. I'm 138 pounds. And if you are pretty sedentary, you don't do much activity, I would say, you're sitting most of the day, you'll multiply your weight by the number 11. If you are active, you are going to multiply your weight by 12. This number by 12 is kind of the baseline for most of my clients. Most of my clients choose this number. If you are nursing, but your child is over 6 months, you're going to multiply your body weight by 13. This is another ballpark number. And if you are nursing and your baby is under 6 months, you're going to multiply your body weight times 14. These are your target calories. However, we don't count calories in the Faster Way. We do macros. In the Faster Way, most of us are choosing a 45, 25, 30 split, meaning 45% of our calories are coming from carbohydrates, 30% are coming from fat, and 25% are coming from protein. There are 4 calories in a carbohydrate. There are 4 calories in a gram of protein, and there are 9 calories in a gram of fat. So you get your number, you multiply. Now remember, 11 is you're not really doing workouts. 12 is you're doing workouts. 13 is very active or nursing an older baby. And 14 is nursing a younger baby or super active. So they kind of go up. Okay. I chose to do 12 for the sake of this. So I'm 138 times 12. Here's my number, 1656. This is a little bit less than what I eat because I'm still nursing. So I usually do 13, but for this, I'm going to do this. I will multiply this number times, I'll write down that number, times 0.45. So I should be eating about 745 carbs a day, but there's 4 calories in a carb. So divided by 4, my target carbs are 186. That's how many carbs I should be striving to eat. Let's figure out our protein because that's really what I want. So again, my target total calories, and again, this is a little low for me. I think I would choose 13 if I were to do this again. Multiply it by 0.25. So the number is 414 divided by 4, right? Because there's 4 calories in protein. My goal is 103.5 grams of protein. And then you can do that one more time. Times 0.3, your total calories times 0.3. That's the number divided by 9, because there are 9 calories per gram of fat and 55. That is my target fat. If you are already a Faster Way client, if you're going to be doing it, this is all calculated for you in the Faster Way app. There are more questions to find out what number you ideally would multiply your weight by. I just kind of did this basic for this free training, but if you use MyFitnessPal or you use the Faster Way, it's going to get a little bit more. It's going to ask you for your height, your weight, your age, and your activity level, and it will spit out a number based on that. This was just a very simple version based on just your weight. So obviously I want y'all to become a client of mine, but this is the very easy, simple version. So the whole idea of tracking macros, though, is to hit your number. It's a target. It's not a limit. So I get sometimes clients will be like, oh, I look how low I was. And it's like, that's not the goal. I want you to hit your target. Most of my clients are eating between 16 and 1800 calories. Many people cannot hit their carbohydrate goal because for so long they've been eating a low carb diet. Stop sharing. People have been eating a low carb diet. Courtney said she missed the calculation for protein. So in the Faster Way app, this is already made for you, but protein is 25%. So you would take your total, so your current weight times 12, 13, or 14, whichever one you chose based on your activity level. And then your total number times 0.25 and then divided by 4. So that's finding 25% of your total calories divided by 4, because there are 4 calories in a gram of protein, and that's your target protein. And again, in the Faster Way, this should be somewhat close. Let's see. I'll show you my Faster Way app to see where it is. Yep. So here is mine. My Faster Way goals are a little different, as you can see. But this is all calculated for you in the Faster Way if you do join. So during the holidays, food guilt, why this matters. A lot of times I feel like we go through the holidays and we're like, oh, I ate so much. It's a wash. I need a reset. And then the reset causes that whole deprivation cycle. So I think by tracking macros, for me personally, it really changed how I viewed food. No longer was I eliminating, no longer was I restricting, but I was focused on eating enough and eating enough of the right foods. I was focused on eating more oatmeal, more fruit. I was focused on eating more versus taking things away. So when we have our macro targets and we're eating more whole foods throughout the day, by the time we get to that 3 p.m. slump, no longer are we wanting to reach for cookies. We're looking at our macros and we're like, I need more protein and carbs. I'm going to have a smoothie. I'm going to have a scoop of protein powder. I'm going to have a banana. And I do need a little bit more fat, so I'll add some peanut butter and it will be a nice, simple, easy smoothie. It's going to taste indulgent and I'm not going to feel guilty. I'm going to feel energized and I'm on track for my macros. Dinner comes, you've already got it planned out. We avoid feeling bad. We avoid feeling guilty. We avoid that feeling of, oh, I'm just going to eat another cookie. We avoid that feeling of, oh, I need to work that off tomorrow. Tracking macros really changed my relationship with food and exercise for this reason. And during the holidays, if you do track something that's, not super nutritious, oftentimes I would find that later in the day, I wouldn't be as hungry because yes, I ate something that was 400 calories in the form of a cookie, but I wasn't as hungry when it came to dinner because my body recognized that. I am an advocate for tracking macros to an extent. I want my clients to be able to track intuitively. So I encourage my clients to track up until a certain point, and then we eat intuitively. So today is the very last day to sign up for the January round with $25 off. I also am going to be giving weekly trainings to my clients starting next week. So you get an additional 5 weeks of our exercise videos, which are amazing. You also will have access to our recipe library where you can get all of the macros for all of our recipes. And it's just really easy to hit your macro goals. So you immediately are going to get access to our app when you sign up, and you'll get $25 off when we start. So that is like double the amount of time that most clients get for the $199, and you're going to get it for $175. So if you are thinking about joining, I highly recommend this program. Changed my body, changed my relationship with food and exercise. And I now love being a coach to try to help my clients find that same happy place, that same positive relationship that was so elusive to me for over the years. Does anybody have any questions? I know some of you guys joined late, and this is going to be recorded, or it is being recorded, and I will send you the replay. It looks like no one has questions. All right.
Can I a quick question? I'm sorry, I'm driving and I just have
You're
so I
fine.
could have missed. Okay. You were just saying the workouts are included. What if we are already members of another like streaming workout service? I mean, can we do our already existing workout routines? For me,
What streaming service?
Peloton.
So I love Peloton, and I did Peloton today. So I love my Peloton. I do the bike. If I had room for a treadmill, I would probably do the treadmill too, but I don't. I work with my clients to find a happy place, happy medium to fit them in. So I do Peloton workouts Mondays and Tuesdays. I don't do the faster way workouts Mondays and Tuesdays because I love my Peloton. I did the Taylor Swift Midnights ride today. And I, though, do believe that our strength workouts are a lot better. I really do. I think our strength workouts are the best on the streaming services. I really, really, really do. And the reason for that is you may have seen, I think Andy actually has a program in Peloton where it builds upon itself, but in the faster way, our workouts build upon each other. And so I've been doing the workouts for 4 years. So Wednesday is a full body, Thursday is upper body, and Saturday is legs. Monday and Tuesday, we do HIIT workouts. So Monday and Tuesday, I always do my Peloton workouts. If you love your Peloton, you can do a HIIT and hills. You could do a Tabata. You could do an outdoor run on Monday and or Tuesday, or you could do the HIIT boot camps. And you could even modify and do the Peloton full body if you wanted. But I really do think our strength is better than theirs, mainly because our trainers, our whole community does the workouts. And on Wednesday, we all do full body. And then after 4 weeks, it changes the modality. Our workouts are like a personal training. I used to train clients one-on-one, and I fell in love with the faster way because the workouts mimicked what I was doing with my clients. And it's a team of trainers. They're top trainers. They program it intentionally so that every few weeks it changes just so slightly. Maybe we're doing supersets for 4 weeks, and then we change to giant sets, or we change to a straight set. It's constantly changing. We keep the programming for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then it changes a little bit so that you never hit metabolic adaptation and you continue to grow. You continue to get stronger, not bigger, but stronger, build that lean muscle, and continue to see results. I think I answered your question, and I added a lot more. I know some people just entered late. We had 70 people that RSVP'd they were coming. And so a lot of people are going to be getting sent the replay. But the bonus of joining live is that you can ask questions. So does anybody else have any other questions? No? Okay. Well, I'm always just a DM away. If you do have questions, today is the last day. The coupon will expire on the 1st. Is that tomorrow, or are there 29 days in November? I don't know. Oh, there's a few days. TBD, I thought the code was expiring today, but it may be December 1st. So, but I wouldn't wait, because you never know. Once it's gone, I don't have access to bring it back. So if you are interested in joining, today's the last day. I will send out this replay, and thank you guys for joining. Have an awesome rest of your week. Bye now.